Host or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off of steel. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboards, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the 3 in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Yo, what's really good, man? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports, at DeeTrynt. Clearly, I went to the wrong spot, okay? If you miss the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Man, was really good. You know what I mean? It's been a hell of a weekend, right? You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody's holiday was cool. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. You know what I'm saying? I think I gained about 5 or 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even 10, because I definitely was getting my turkey and sweet potato and candy yam game popping. All right. Had me a couple of little pies. You know, we had some patty pies. We didn't do it from scratch. We shout out to patty pies. You know what I'm saying? They was definitely busting. And good mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying? We had a nice little holiday season. It was cool, man. So I hope everybody else's holiday season was good. At least this part of it, right? Because we still got to get through, the Christmas times when everybody really exchanging the gifts. But it was definitely a lot of sports going on. A lot of sports going on, and that's what we're here for, right? And it's amazing how where I was at, it was quiet as hell. And then all of a sudden, everybody want to start doing stuff, right? Let me find another little section. Hold on. Let me see. All right, maybe I got blessed right now. It's really good. So we had games on Turkey Day. You know what I mean? You had games on the day after Turkey Day. You know what I'm saying? And you had games during the weekend. Now, I thought it was most interesting that Dallas is still winning. Dallas did they thuggy. They still winning. Um, wait, was that Dallas and the Bears? Well, no, they played someone. Let me make sure I pull my shit up correctly because I thought it was very interesting on these days. A lot of everybody was getting some of their win on. Let me pull this up correctly. Okay, yeah. The Cowboys played the Chiefs. I thought I wasn't tripping, right? Cowboys played the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? 3-point win. Packers, did their thing against the Lions. Bengals beat the Ravens, which was crazy. That game was crazy. Bears beat the Eagles, which was crazy, right? Jaguars blew out the Titans. Texans beat the Colts. Miami beat the Saints. The Jets got a win versus the Falcons. The Panthers beat the Rams. The Bucks beat the Cardinals. The Seahawks wiped the Vikings. All right, they wiped them off. They beat them so bad that Jay Jetta said he ready to go. He say, pack my bags, get me up out of here. I would love to see Jay Jettis in Cleveland. We'll get to that in a second. Um, Maybe I'm petty. The Chargers did they thing versus the Raiders. The Bills beat the brakes off the Steelers. And the Commanders and Broncos had a nice tight game that went into overtime. And then, we came out with the Broncos victorious and the Patriots beat the Giants. So as it stands right now in football, let's bring up these standings one time for you all. No, don't be slow now. All right, so New England leads the AFC at 11-2. The Bills follow at 8-4. With Jacksonville and Indiana following at 8-4. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do this correctly. New England at 11-2. Denver at 10-2. And then you have a tie with Buffalo, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and the Chargers, and they're all 8-4. That's probably going to be the list. You got a few teams at 6-6, like Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Kansas City. You got Houston at 7-5. But I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie, but I think it's gonna be really hard for a lot of those teams to get in, man. But you know, I gotta talk about the Browns, right? And how it's amazing to me, right? How I've been saying all year that the Browns don't really have a good offense. Their offense sucks. I've said this on multiple occasions. Like it sucks. I don't really know how else to word this in a way that's digestible. They're trash, right? And it's not that the whole offense is trash. It's just that when you're rebuilding something, it's not going to be that good in the beginning. Now, fortunately for the Browns, they have pieces that they can work with, right? Quinshawn is a piece that they can work with. Dylan Sampson is a piece that seems to be, coming along pretty well, I guess. Him and Quinshawn like playing with each other, so you got a kind of a thunder and a lightning type of duo, right? Um, the tight end room is pretty good so far with Njoku and Fannin. We would love to see Njoku get more catches and stuff like that, but the offensive line is not that good. You know, we got to really see how that played out against the 49ers. Now, shout out to Shador, you know, for maintaining his composure and his professionalism through a rough week. Um, Jerry Jeudy, you are out of fucking pocket. The audacity of an underachiever to be mad at a quarterback is crazy. And I just say the audacity, bro, because you have been not making plays when you're able to make plays, and that's ain't on nobody but you. That's a you problem. Nobody can fix that for you. All right. You even got Ocho Cinco talk about you a number one receiver, bro, and you a slot. You a slot, man. That's your best position right now, slot. You the man behind the man behind the man. And I don't say that as a diss. I literally say that as that's how you perform. Maybe you will say, "Oh, I had 1,400 yards receiving last year," but you did it for a 3-14 team. So your production doesn't translate to winning, and that's kind of my issue. You could have came at your door better. I don't. I personally don't think you had any malicious intent when you were talking to Shador, but I do feel like Party was trying to shift the blame, which I don't even know how you got. I don't even know how you got to the conclusion that you could even possibly do that because my guy, you ain't did much. Um, I've been a Kevin Stefanski supporter or blocker, right? Meaning, I've taken up for him on multiple occasions. The one thing that I don't get is why you're not using David Njoku as a number one receiver. That right there, I just can't not fathom. I understood though you didn't, why you keep starting Dylan. You're tanking, and when you're tanking, you don't play your best players. You don't even get them active like that. You pick another part of their game to work on, and that's how you tank without tanking, right? It's kind of like the Kansas City Shuffle. I make you look over here at this when I'm really over here. Hold on. I make you look at this while I'm really over here doing this. I think it was very telling too that some of the best blocking we've seen from the Browns all season came when Wyatt Teller was not in the game. I had so many people talking about, oh, they need to bring back Wyatt Teller. Oh, he's such a good blocker. No, Wyatt Teller sucks. His pass blocking sucks. He's probably one of the best pulling guards in the running game. You getting with the head of thing, but he also getting up there in age, and he's not that athletic. So it's kind of, I don't really know. Like Batonio gonna retire. I don't think Ethan Pochett comes back. I think he's probably trying to get a bag somewhere else. Um, Jack Conklin is going to retire. Everybody on that line is on a 1-year deal. That line sucks. And there's nothing any quarterback can do behind the line that can't give you time. I don't care how athletic you are. I don't care. You cannot have a bad line and no reliable receiving weapons and think someone's going to thrive. It just does not work that way. I don't even see how you could possibly think it'll work that way. Even with all that being said, Quinshawn Junkin is the leading rookie rusher, and Harold Fanta is the leading receptions grabber as a rookie. So we have some things to build off of. I liked it to see I like to seeing Tevin Jenkins in the game. I think that's a guy that they'll probably bring back. I do want to see Zach Zinter play. Matter of fact, against these Titans, I want to see all the young people play. I think all the old people should be benched this game. All the old timers, just sit them down, bro. Just sit them down, play all the youngsters, and see how that's gonna play out. Um, Now listen, I'm gonna probably have to end this early because clearly I'm not about to get the type of quiet that I want. I'm gonna hit a couple more points though that I wanted to hit, and then I'm gonna end this off. Um, Stop asking about a quarterback for the Browns. The Browns will not be drafting a quarterback. I did like a point that my homie Koozie, shout out to Koozie. My homie Koozie came on, we was on Spaces last night, and he said If Mendoza is able to put up a pretty good game against the best defense in the nation, which is the Ohio State Buckeyes, then he should get some consideration from the Browns. And I can see that. But being that the Browns probably won't have a top 5 pick, I don't see how he'll be in the running. Um, I do think, though, you know, wide receiver, offensive tackle, and we'll get in a lot more into that as we get into the offseason and really get to breaking down the prospects that's available. But I do understand that right now they need a line and they need a receivers. And anything outside of that is not prioritized. Um, I can't even really get down to this like I want to with y'all. There's a lot going on. So I really want to talk a little bit about the Cavs too, because Kenny Atkinson bugging. But I don't think he bugging more so that is we just have to be willing to get rid of certain guys. Certain guys just don't fit. I mean, we want them to fit, but they don't fit. And we're going to have to consider taking these guys and taking advantage of some other guys who are not doing well in other places and pairing guys up, like Zion. I don't care what nobody says. If I pair Zion with Mobley as a front court, that's a great front court. I don't care what nobody says. Um, but we're going to get into a little bit of that more later on. I'm going to go ahead and end this off now at this little 17-minute mark because I ain't going to be able to really get comfortable with y'all like I want to right now. So DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. I think about 3 o'clock, 3:30, I'll be back on. I'll be in a more quieter setting. And we'll really get into some specifics about things that I'm hearing and things that I don't like and suggestions that I want to give each of my favorite teams. But y'all be easy. Please enjoy. I hope your holiday season is good. And if you up there in that snow, man, make sure you bundle up. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, it's no more snow for me. I gave that life up, and I don't plan on reclaiming it anytime soon. So y'all be easy, be cool, and I'm going to catch y'all in a minute. One.